So as you all know, just last month we got Sonya, our latest Grassmon. And in case you haven't noticed how I try to structure these kinds of videos is that whenever we get a new Mon of that type, and I haven't gone over said type yet, I do a little bit of a type overview on where the type is, what they need, what they excel in, things like that. So, as you can tell by this video, we're going to do Grass. So, we got a decent amount of grass pairs in the game. That's what? 4, 12, 13. We got 13. Most of which being, well, not most, but a decent chunk of them being 4 stars, right? 3, 4 stars. Free stuff. Basic stuff like that. So, I'm going to go over those first. Then we're going to dive into the into the more gotcha stuff. So, what Grass excels in is that they also benefit from sun. Very similar to how ground and rock both benefit from sand, fire and grass both benefit from sun. So we have passives such as Solar Shield, which is status conditions, Solar Disposition, which is you don't get hit by status conditions in sun. You got Speeding Sun, which is built to move with acceleration. You got Solar Flare, which for some reason Superior has 2. Wait, hold up. 300 BP with 2 Solar Flares. Wait a minute, this might not be a horrible idea. Up. I fucked up. Whoops! Did not mean to click that. Okay. I had to click tiles. I clicked on the Meganium model viewer. I'm just gonna pretend like nothing fucking happened. So Grass also excels. Grass also has a bunch of different energy ball users. They have status conditions, so you can lower special defense pretty decently reliable with some pairs more than others. You have healing in the form of Absorb, Giga Drain, and what else do they really have for healing? I guess that's really it. HP regen stuff. And what Grass needs is they need grassy terrain. They don't have their innate 50% because grassy terrain provides an HP regen and it boosts up grass type moves by the zone terrain weather standard of 50%. So grass with that and sun would be pretty funny because. So, Superior here, right? Superior was the first free unit you get in this game. Your special defense can't be lowered. You have special attack also. You could top up special attack, time to energize. And this was why Superior was one of the best pairs back in the day because move gauge was super important. Because back then our speed stats weren't as high. We didn't have many move gauge accelerators. We didn't know how the move gauge really worked. So we just knew, this is a free move gauge charge. And it caught this affects everyone. So Superior is very good. Some form of healing, although you want the Master Healers, or Master Healer, I should say. Any damage up, Power Flux. You just want as much damage off the Giga Drain as possible if you're the tank to just heal. Now, what this pair needs is some form of defense. Defense and, some form of defense and a little bit, like, just an HP regen when you use time to energize, maybe. Just as an example. Like, you have move gauge redirection, which is nice. But this pair doesn't have enough healing, exactly. Very similar to how Celestial has Absorb and an HP regen. Superior kind of needs that as well. Or if you just have damage reduction in the sun, that'd be amazing as well. Instead of the second Solar Flare where you're not really going to use it. Maybe give her a critical squad with time to energize, something like that. But why not? Top off crit rate? I'm just speaking from my ass at this point. Yeah, Superior is a pair that most people should have 2 out of 5 if you started the game early enough. 3 out of 5, the candy just is not worth it. Because 2 out of 5, you're missing the Speeding Sun, you're missing Solar Shield, you're missing Master Heal, you're missing the second Solar Flare, and on the ropes. And obviously the Sick Nodes. But yeah, most people should have a 2 out of 5 if you're like me and you started at a relatively decent time. 1 out of 5, you're a little fucked, I'm gonna be honest. But otherwise, yeah, just some alright stuff. Superior's not the greatest. She did not age the best, but still nice and nostalgic to have. Now, we have Vileplume, another free one. So, skill-wise, you have Piercing Gaze, so your Stun Spore never misses. Pretty good. You don't need Troublemaker for that. Energy Ball, Special Defense drop, Special Defense, raises yours, port on, raises your Special Attack Defense for 3 stages, so she can max out her defense, Special Defense close, so you can use her as a tank. I don't think it's a horrible idea, but most people use her for Cobalion stunning and lowering Special Defense for the fire types on the team. Now I say that all because of words. They'll come to me eventually. I say it because Coban's here right now. That's the first thing I could think of, and that's what I did back in the day. So, grid now. This is a pair you should have 3 out of 5 because of Tech 4-star candies. We get them like crazy. Energy Ball on a roll 2. And another one down here. So that's a 50% chance to lower special defense. Pretty good. 3 Energy Ball move gauge refreshes. So you can have this net positive. That's pretty nice. Solar Flare, don't really need that. Healing Sun, I like this. So you get an HP regen tick when you're in the sun with your fire types. Satisfying Snarl, so when you stun Sport, you lower their special attack. It's alright. It's fine. If you need it for something, sure, do it. Process Synergy and Confusion Synergy. And so stun Sport Flabbergasted, 30% chance of leaving the target confused. That's why she has Confusion Synergy. Like, Energy Ball in grassy terrain with Paralysis Synergy and Confusion Synergy. When that comes out, I am definitely curious. Like, I'm super curious. But, whatever. So, what this pair needs... Now, you're not worrying about DPS with this pair, right? Like, single wise, 240 BP, base price increase in target's paralyzed, so it has a built-in static shock. If this pair were to get an EX... I don't think DPS is a horrible idea with Solar Flare. I really don't. Especially when we get grassy terrain. Like, I generally don't think it's the worst of ideas. So, if this were to happen, if DPS were to become a thing with this pair, what she needs is 4 special attack and 3 crit rate. She doesn't give that for herself, and not everyone can exactly provide that for her. So, she's in a little bit of a weird spot. I would have liked if Porodon got ramp up to make this +2 instead of +1, so she would only need a little top off. Personally, I like that better than Satisfying Snarl. Granted, this does have its uses, but... Now, debuffing-wise, this pair does a great job, right? She can lower special attack if that's what you want to use her for. Special defense, 50% chance. She can paralyze, she can confuse for whoever needs it. Now, confusion-wise, Grass does have a few pairs who benefit off of it. In fact, I'm just gonna dip right into that pair next instead of the other free-to-plays. So, confusion-wise, we have... oh my god, I'm gonna say Serenity for both. Mallow. Mallow and Serenity, Confusion Synergy 5. Now, the only issue with this is... she's physical, not special. So, it's kind of whatever. But you could use it to save a Teeter Dance. So you could set yourself up. Now, what this pair struggles with is you need attack, like quite a bit of it. Stop hitting yourself, like that's pretty good. Pecking Order, Overwhelm, Power Posture, CS1, Solar Flares. This pair does have a lot of neat stuff, but unfortunately, you need dupes for it, and a decent amount, because Pecking Order for the Sync is nice. Swinging Sun's alright. Solar Flare is fine if you want to run Sun. But then you get Charged Sun. Stop hitting yourself. MGRs. Overwhelm. I think Overwhelm is better, personally, because this is -2, so it's a faster setup. Power Posture. It's 36 base power. You're not going to do shit with that. CS1. That's fine. Power Whip. This pair is mostly Sync Nuke. Like, the whole point is to set up Attack Down, set up Pecking Order, set up the Confusion. So, like... you don't have the best synergy with this pair with Vileplume, but it's alright. It's something. Now, let's get into the other Erica. Oh, yeah, there are 3 Ericas here alone. Erica's one of the meme-don pairs. So, Erica and Tangela. Now, if you saw the last CS video, you'll notice that I used this pair, right? Now, what she does is Speeding Sun 2... Propelling Move 5, 6% chance of it's pretty much an MGR 6 when you use a move, which is, well, MGR 5 I should say, but that's super good. Like, absorb, you get it back. It's free. Poke Trap, that works off of infestation, leaves target trapped. Toxic, you live in battle with poisoned. Absorb, you heal based on damage you dealt. And sync move, target's power increase when enemy is trapped. 240 BP, whatever. Double down 2, CS2, that's fine. If this pair were to get an EX, not bad. But otherwise, right now, you won't use it for that. Like, her main purpose is stall stuff. Because Badly Poison does more tick damage than regular poison, especially over time. Well, the first 6 is the same, but it progressively gets worse and worse, right? Like, that's the point of this. Like, you want infestation damage with Poke Trap 2 up here, Poke Trap 1 here, so that's another 30%. You want toxic damage to just keep going off. You want to keep yourself sustained with Absorb. And whoever can give you HP regen, that's also very good. Raises special attack and special defense by 2 star ranks. This pair doesn't get defense, which is fine, but you can use it as a... You don't want to use it as a tank necessarily, but it's not a horrible idea. First Aid 4, Healing Sun, Power Reserves 3 if you want a big chunky Absorb. Personally, I think Absorb could have went with higher base power. Like, toxic accuracy is great. That's fine. I think the infestation power could have been dropped. MGRs. I think just load her with absorb power if you want to go healer. Absorb should have gotten master healer in here, in my opinion. I drink some water. Don't mind me. For absorb damage, you're lacking crit rate, which is fine. But you get 4 special attack, which isn't terrible using a little top up. Sync move I think would be interesting, but once again she needs an EX. This pair is amazing for stall stuff. If you're struggling with any champion stadium, just toss on like all the HPs, all the screens, give them HP regen. That's like a good chunk of points right there. But then just make this pair live. That's all you really have to do, but then Toxic Infestation will do the rest. You just have the rearm trap every 10 actions that they do. So yeah, for a free pair, this is probably the best free grass pair you're going to get, in my opinion. Because just stalling stuff and just getting a free tap out of the way that you're struggling with is so free. It's so great. Now, Roserade. This pair did get a grid, like, a few months ago, decently recent. This pair works amazingly in Sun. Like, that's what this pair is meant to do. All she has is Speeding Sun 2, and they worked around it. So you have Absorb, that's not near as important here. Direct Plus, this pair maxes out her own crit rate. Leaf Storm, 163 base power, lower special attack. This was her base demerit. Trust Nature, charges move gauge, converts the stat reductions into stat increases. So what this pair was meant to do was that you were meant to lower your special attack to -6, flip it, but to use 3 Leaf Storms to hopefully take out whatever you were taking out. So people gave this pair Dauntless for a while, but then this kind of became useless. So this ability is just a free move gauge charge right now. This pair doesn't get special attack from base kit, right? Then Vivid Leaf Storm, 300 base power. You have Sword Flare 3. You have... where is it? I just fucked up. Double Down 5. Double Down 5 isn't terrible. So this is an 80% increase for the sync. This is a Striker, so you wouldn't get the Tech EX modifier for single target, but you would get Strike, which isn't bad either. You get Leaf Storm, super duper effective. Leaf Storm Charge Sun. You do get Grand Entry. Yeah, there are good stuff. There is some good stuff for this grid. You have some sustainability via healthy healing. Sunny Disposition. This made people switch off Dauntless to CS2. When you're in the sun, your special attack does not drop. You just need someone to get you +4 special attack because of Grand Entry. That helps a little bit. I just wish she gave herself more. If they change this to have special attack increase instead of converting, it would have been better. If they gave her what's it called, Pepper Alley. Or, I don't think Pepper Rally is the right word. I know Pepper Rally is speed, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? Leaf Storm Maxi, great. So yeah, this pair does pretty good damage. But yeah, that's something else with the grass types. Some of their stuff is either lowly accurate or it has some sort of demerit. Speaking of demerits, that was all the free pairs, right? Yeah. So speaking of demerits, let's go into Sceptile. No, I lied. There's one more free pair, but we'll get to it in a little bit. So all Sceptile had was speed can't be dropped, you can't be paralyzed. So this pair was meant to go fast, despite not having speed right away. Yeah, Bullet Seed attacks 2 to 5 times in a row. 18 base power. This ability was useless. You still don't use it. Direct Plus, you can master your own crit rate. Leaf Storm, 163 base power. Once again, demerit. No turning back. Maximum of 3 move slots. The more is used. So you can raise your special attack and attack up to +6 with 1 TM. So this pair is very self-sufficient. Then 300 base power, physical. So you want your physical attack for your sync move instead of Bullet Seed. Bullet Seed is kind of useless, honestly. Grid-wise, now you can get this pair from Hoenn tickets and tickets in general, so most people should at least have 1 out of 5 Sceptile. I would hope at this point. If you're just starting out, I hope you get him soon, because this will be your carry for most grass-related content right away. This pair is easier to use than Roserade, because Roserade, you don't need to worry about your special attack nearly as much, and this pair, you want to run Dauntless on, unfortunately. Solar Shields, not affected by status conditions. I wish this was Solar Disposition so badly. He needs it. This pair wants to use CS2 because he's starting to fall behind compared to other grass DPS. Speeding Sun 3, that's fine. Bullet Seed, whatever. TM MPR, you don't need to use it twice even, so useless. Leaf Storm MGR off 1 out of 5 is pretty good. 2 out of 5, you get access to Healing Sun. You get Inertia. You get Ramming Speed. Bullet Seed Staggering. So, Staggering, this does not affect every single Bullet Seed hit. So let's say it hits twice. You don't have a 40% chance to flinch. 5 being 100%, you don't get that. It's whenever the string ends, then it triggers. Just in case if that was a question. I tested this with Mad Strength. Rank Speed and Inertia. So at this point, this pair doesn't get speed. So this might seem weird. Maxed out, you get amped up. Whenever you land a crit, you get 1 speed. Exact same example as this. You can't just use Bullet Seed, get 5 times, and you get 5 speed. That's not how this works. I wish it did. It would make this so much funnier and actually give Bullet Seed a use, but that's not how this works. Hell, it would make Sceptile an amazing flincher for grass. You just sit there, you Bullet Seed them, they don't move. That would actually be very funny. So yeah, your goal is to get as much speed as possible. Beef up Leaf Storm damage with Ramming Speed even more. Charged Sun 5 for that's 80%. Then Inertia with Charged Sun. Sorry. Or Sword Flare. I lied. It's not here. Whatever. Inertia with the Sync for an AoE. Not bad. I wouldn't use him as a sync personally. I EX him. I tried it. I don't recommend it. Raises the use special attack by 6 seconds after it uses its sync move. You would do this if you really want to run CS2. If you really want to. And you want to only use a few Leaf Storms just to trim them down and sync, use a few more, constantly teetering between that 4 to 6 special attack. That's what you would really want to do. He gets both Leaf Storms, he gets Mind Swell, 30% chance of raising special attack by 1 second after you use a move. So how this would work is that you get the -2 first, then you get the +1, so it kind of cushions it. That's the goal of it. But this pair wants Sunny Disposition. Grass has that, where you have demerits, and you have slightly outdated free pairs, right? So, free pairs, last one. Ramos also got a grid pretty recent. Shut up. I did not want to do that. That's what I want to do. So, Tech. This pair just has Defense Crush 2. Now, I went over this pair in one of my more recent videos, so I'm not going to go over it too much, but TLDR, this pair is Sleep Spam. And I guess Defense Crushing if you want it for someone, but you don't need it. It's really just Sleep Spam, a little bit of speed up with base 300 something speed. Wait, that is 5-star? Yeah, 300 something speed isn't the worst in the world, so +4 speed, that scales a little well, kind of well. You have some form of sustainability. Sync Nuke if you were to ever get an EX with Double Down. Rude Awakening, which you would have to time that a little bit, but that's fine. You have Accuracy, so you'd want to give this pair Troublemaker for that guaranteed sleep hit. Because sleep hit's a 4-turn skipping, and I value that quite a bit, actually. So, me like... I think that's the only grass that actually sleeps, yeah. Well, besides Egg. Egg Victory Bell does pretty much the same thing. Except it's literally just sleep. Right? So, now normally, Fire would provide all of the sun, and you don't get the type skill. They released Erica and Leafeon. This is your sunny day, your sunsetter for grass, for the type skill. This pair is super good, honestly. So you have Solar Propulsion. Now, you know my opinion on Propulsion. It's very hard. It's hard to play around because it's entirely random. So it can fuck you at times. So, Sun Countdown, not bad. Speeding Sun, nice. Charge Sun, very nice. You have Solar Blade, 240 base power and move. It's pretty much Solar Beam. It's a physical Solar Beam, right? It is what it is. You get yourself plus 4 speed. Sunny, obviously. You get your attack up to +2. Crit rate by 1. Raises your attack when there's sunny. By an additional one. Okay. So you get +2 crit rate in Sun, +4 attack in Sun, and you get gradual healing. So you can max out your own crit rate, you can max out your own attack, and you get yourself +4 speed. That's very good. But then this sync move, so you get so you can guaranteed crit this, which not many sync moves have that. Power increases when the weather's sunny. That's a 50% buff with Solar Flare down here up to X2. Then you have Inertia somewhere right here. Inertia, hello there. Healthy power up. Don't get this. Do yourself a favor. Don't get that. Safety Tether, not bad. Tech EX, so you get another 50%. Ramming Speed, Fast Track for that top off the +6. You don't have X Speed Pep Rally, which is fine. So our Shield, Headstrong. Super Inflictor, when you use a status move, Sunny Day, you get super effective next. You can use this to hit super hard with your sync. So the goal of this pair is that if you have her 1 out of 5, you don't want to worry too much about your sync nuke. Granted, it's not bad because you would get X2 because of the sync buff and the sun buff. So it's not the worst idea in the world. It can work. 2 out of 5, you get access to super duper effective one, which is alright, it's fine. You get Solar Flare. 2 out of 5 is where you can start sync nuking with this pair. This is where this gets fun. Then maxed out, you get everything else. You get some of the fun stuff like Super Inflictor, Inertia. Yeah, you get Inertia as well for your strongest possible sync nuke. You get ramming speed for more Solar Blade damage. Overall, for someone that grass needed, super good. And she pairs so well with so many other people. Like as I said, you have Sceptile, you have Roserade, you have Sonya as well. I went over Sonya recently, so I'm not going to bore you with that, but just know, very good. If you guys want to see my opinion on Sonya, just look throughout the channel. You'll see the little video essay. You'll see the little overview I did. Things like that. Unfortunately, you won't see gameplay because I didn't pull for her. I wanted to save. So there's that. Who else do we have here, right? We have Meganium, which is another Sunsetter, technically speaking. Solarize. Not many people have this. Support pair that doesn't have an EX yet. Sedge. Solar Shield, fine. Energy Ball, Special Defense down, whatever. Dire Hit All with Critical Squad down here, so you can max out all accurate, if not choose this to top up. Special Attack and Speed by 2 when in Sun, so you can top off Special Attack if not get it very, very high. Decent speed support. Light Screen. Light Screen's dope. You can never go wrong with the screen. The more your user saturates, the more power this move, so it's built in Rising Tide. You're not going to get much sync damage out of this. Like, even with Solar Flare and Chartstone's not irrelevant in this. Solar Flare and Rising Tide, You don't have Techie X buff, so it's never gonna do that much. You're not gonna run CS2 on her either way, so it's just kind of whatever to me. So your goal is to keep Sun up as long as possible. With Sora's, if you don't want a Sunsetter, you have Speeding Sun, Healing Sun, and Hit Healing. So you have access to 2 HP regens when you're in Sun, which is pretty nice. Access to some defenses. That is the user, so that's whatever. Revenge Boost, you have some form move gauge. And a bunch of light screen stuff. Right? Force Field, raise special defense of everyone. It's kind of whatever. I wish this was pepper out instead for more speed. All in all, Meganium needs an EX, honestly. Solid pair. Solid roll. But Leafeon just outdid what this pair does. It's kind of whatever. I wouldn't even use it as a reliable tank. Speaking of tanks, let's move on to Torterra. Support. You have Power Siphon and Vigilance. I remember when this pair came out, I misread what Power Siphon does. If you know what I'm talking about, if you were there for it, you know what I'm talking about. I entirely misread this. I thought this was way more broken than it actually was. 100% chance of lowering the opponent's attack by 1 stat rank. Raise the use attack by the same amount when it is hit by a move. I thought this is also when you hit them with Razor Leaf. So I thought you could literally suck up everyone's attack and give yourself +6 attack in like 2 Razor Leafs. I thought that's what that was, but I was mistaken. Razor Leaf 51 base power, AoE, critical hits land more easily. Dope. X defense ult, raise everyone's defense. Good as new. Pretty much a full restore. One use, doesn't have an NPR in here. I would have loved an NPR in this, but it's a full heal. It's still nice. Seed Bomb, 120 base power. It's fine. I think this would be way funnier with grassy terrain. But, oh no, I don't expect this to actually be used very effectively. New Dawn Woodhammer, 240 base power. The more the user's attack is raised, the greater the power of this move. Now, I fucked around with this a little bit, and I tried to do Sync Nuke Torterra. And to be dead honest, don't do it. Not worth it. Pecking order, I would not recommend this at all. Do not do it. You can also raise the accuracy of the one you use your full heal on, which is, you have to specify which one you heal. Yeah, that's whatever. Healthy healing, so you have HP regen, that's nice. Tough cookie. The more defense is raised, the more powers it moves. So when you get this up to +6 via V's, your Seed Bomb is doing 30% more damage. Not bad. Power reserve is 5 when you're low in HP. You do 50% more damage. Once again, I think Seed Bomb would be pretty funny with this. So that's 80, 120% in grassy terrain with whatever move power to down here. It could be an interesting idea, but whatever. Pump up, sync move, you get 2 move gauge. I tried this as well as like a move gauge support, sync nuke type thing. It's only alright. Raise of Eagle Eye, 20% chance of raising the use crit by 1 when you use a move. So you can raise your own crit rate, but this doesn't work like, this isn't, what's it called? This isn't Palkia's. What's the fucking passive called? I'm butchering this, I don't care. Critical Focus, thank you. This isn't like Critical Focus. If she had Critical Focus, this would be a lot better. But she does have Critical Focus, so this is kind of whatever. Overall, very good tank. Like, this was the only Sinnoh tank before Cresselia came out. So it was either Dawn or die, if you want a Sinnoh tank. And for the most part, a grass tank as well, because you can use Lyra. She's fine. You're all right. You're all right. You do have an EX, so that's fine. Now, the last grass pair. Now, this was the first anniversary unit, and may I just say, I honestly think she aged the worst of all of the first anniversary pairs. Because when she initially came out, she was better than Blue, because Blue didn't have the healing. He didn't have any form of sustainability, so she was the healing. Now, what this pair does, 50% chance of leaving the target's badly poisoned. So she can apply Toxic. Sundering, 100% chance of low in defense, special defense, or both. So that's what Giratina has. And you can do that AoE, which is great. Adrenaline 2, when you sync, countdown. Tech, so your Tech EX, Razor Leaf, once again, AoE, you hit everything. Potion, she was your sustainability. Mega Healing, reducing counter by 1. If you're Mega, by 2. When a co-op, it reduces of all allied. And you give everyone HP regen. So I press say Mega Healing till I'm Mega, and when everyone actually needs the HP regen. So I do 2 countdown with Adrenaline, so I would do 4. Like, I do it immediately, then HP regen. So that's fine. That's dandy. Frenzy Plant, 213 base power. You do have some some modifiers in here. Then Sync Move, 192 base power. Become Mega Venusaur. Power is increased when poisoned. When target's poisoned. So I have Toxic Power. Powers up the user's moves. So that's a 50% buff. You have, well, enemy takes more damage from poison. So that's pretty good. You have HP advantage. Don't get HP advantage. It's not worth it. And you could lower accuracy. You could lower evasion. So that's not horrible either. In fact, I might actually do Heaven 2 with whatever stage raises accuracy and CS. That might be a fun idea. So where this pair shines is Sync Nuke, debuffing, and poison. And healing, right? Because Master Healer, you have HP regen. Raise Lift CS2, don't do that. Potent Toxin, so you can use her for stall strategies. Like, she works, but Tango's is better in my opinion because you have access to another form of damage over time. And you have the low bar move. Granted, Raise Lift is still low bar, but you're gonna have don't lower stats on anyway, so her debuffing is not as useful. So your Sync Nuke is Relentless. And Bad Poisoned, and Tech EX. That's pretty much it. I'm not missing anything there, am I? No, I'm not. So yeah, you want Relentless, just lower their defense, which is weird because this is a special. I would have this be special defense. I think that would have made her so much stronger. Like, I get it's for, no, it's not even for Frenzy Plant. That's just weird. You know what? Whatever. It's not that big of a deal. You have Speeding Sun, Healing Sun. So yeah, you do have more HP regen. You have more Sun stuff. As I said, Grass has a lot of Sun stuff. Toxin, Toxic Power, went over those already. And yeah, overall, I think this pair aged the worst because Red still does super good damage in the Sun. When Grassy Terrain comes out, I expect Venusaur to get a lot better. But for now, I think Venusaur aged the worst because Blue is still one of the best tank/supports in the game. Red is still one of the better fire damage dealers, especially since he has now access to Super Offensive Up because of Raihan, who still gives him Sun, so that's a super good combo. Venusaur just needs a little bit of help, and I think Grassy Terrain would do it. Grass overall needs Grassy Terrain. Like, there's no getting around that. They need they want the extra damage, not need. They don't need it. They want it. There's a big difference here. Grass could still do all grass content just fine. I forgot to mention Decidueye. Personally, I think this pair is that impressive. You have Hold Hostage, which is actually pretty strong. Hold and Hit. Brings MGR 6 when target is restrained. But Hold Hostage, it's a 50% buff when target is restrained. So that's like an innate zone. That's pretty strong. 60% chance raising you use speed when you land a critical hit. So you're your own speed support, like, pretty effectively. You have X attack, so you need a little bit of a top up. Raises defense, special defense, and crit by 2 settings, supplies gradual healing. So you can use her. So she can kind of bulk through hits. She has HP sustainability, so that's not horrible. I read this is Moonlight Dreamblade. Fuck! If you play Epic 7, you know what Moonlight Dreamblade is. I read this as fucking Moonlight Dreamblade. Moonlight Leaf Blade crits land more easily. So this is another Sync move that can guaranteed crit. You also have Leaf Blade with crit, so you don't need to worry it. So yeah, you can max out your own. You can max, of course, your own crit rate. Also, why did I say +4 defenses? There's only one use. Whatever. I'm an idiot. We know this. Yeah, so like 1 out of 5, you don't get much, obviously. 2 out of 5. Speedy entry, you have inertia, which is another thing to add to your sync nuke. This is what? Deck, strike, whatever. So you have an inertia. That is fine and dandy. You get access to ramming speed, so your leaf blades hit stronger. You have catastrophe. So you also restore HP when you land a critical hit, or it's a chance to. So this pair is actually very, very sustainable, which is very surprising. Hold hostage too, so you get 70% when enemy is restrained, and you get restrained sync up. So this with inertia is not bad. This is probably one of the better grass sync nukes in my opinion. You get access to propulsion 3 as well, which that's actually pretty good. All because normally it's just 20%. This is 40. I like 40 way more than 20. 20% chance of the user's sync countdown by 1 when the user's attack move is successful against a restrained opponent. So you have two methods of sync countdown with this pair. I don't think it's a horrible idea to just spam sync countdown with this unit. With Leafeon as well, if you want to go the Sun route, if you want to use her as a sync nuke, and just power that as fast as possible, I don't think it's horrible. In fact, that's a fun idea I could try for a video. I think Grass Week is next week. I did not mean to minimize that. Slide! Where's the image? Yep, I could try this next week. Poggers! Alright. Yeah, Spirit Shackle is literally just there to set up restrained. Like, you're not going to use it for ghost damage. Well, you can. You can use it for ghost damage. Not a bad idea. But yeah, grass overall, as I said, they need grassy terrain. They have access to several forms of damage. Damage over time. Or in her case, ghost damage. Sync damage. And just decently strong move damage. Sonya's probably the best. Sonya, Erica, and probably Venusaur are 3 of the best physical move damage dealers in my, not physical, but base move damage dealers in my opinion. Yeah, that's probably true. I don't think I'll get flamed too badly for that. I think that's accurate. So yeah, so yeah, just end this video. Just a quick question for you guys. What's your favorite grass type to use and why? And I'll see you all in the next video.